Hello everybody, my name is Starfinity, and welcome to a review. Now, for the past couple weeks, I have been debating on whether Deltarune is a better game than Undertale. And I don't really know why, since Undertale is, it is my favorite game of all time, number one. Number two, it's completed, it's from a beginning to an end, so it's one cohesive story. And number three, it basically changed the whole way that gaming has been done. And when Deltarune came out in 2018, the creator, Toby Fox, knew that there was no way that he could do anything better. He couldn't make you feel that way again. But, to quote him, he said, "But I can make you feel something else," or something like that. I can't remember his Twitter tweet. I don't go on Twitter. But that's the thing that's been, ever since Chapter 2 came out in September 2021, 3 years after Deltarune, 6 years after Undertale, well. But after Chapter 2, Deltarune has gotten so much more interesting to me. And I'm probably going to make another video giving my thoughts on Deltarune itself. But for this video, I'm just going to be focusing on why I believe that Deltarune could end up being better than Undertale. Which is a weird thing to say, because Undertale is my favorite game of all time. And just like Toby Fox, I don't think it could ever be topped with anything. But with Deltarune, he gave us something that's not like Undertale. Even though it has some similar aspects, it's got some similar characters, it's got the similar, you can spare or you can fight, but there's no clear, until not really Chapter 2. It doesn't even have a genocide route in Chapter 2. It's just a different route. But there's no genocide or pacifist route. The story remains the same throughout. Your choices don't matter. And I think that's what makes Deltarune such a genius move on Toby's part, is to take what made Undertale to take the definitive thing that defined Undertale, which is the choice that you had to spare the monsters or to kill them, and basically take that out to where you have no choice, just like a normal game. But to see the creator of Undertale do this, to go from your choice matters completely to your choice doesn't matter at all. Until you get to chapter 2, where you take a different route, but the whole ending remains the same, just with one major difference. And so with Deltarune, you realize that you kind of don't matter. So I'm gonna spoil the ending here. At the end of Deltarune Chapter 1, the main character, which I'll go into more in a future video of Deltarune, Chris, takes out his heart, which is you, the player, and throws it into a cage. And now you can still move the heart just barely in the cage, proving that is you, the heart. So Chris is now on his own, or whatever that thing is, and it seems that this vessel makes its own decisions. And so in chapter 2, this gets even further proof, where he takes out his heart again and puts it in a cabinet where you can't escape, climbs out the window and slashes the tires of Toriel's car. And then, with what he does it again, but this time everyone's asleep. This is one of the creepiest moments that has happened in both Undertale and Deltarune, where Susie's asleep on the couch, Toriel's asleep. Chris wakes up, pulls his heart out, sticks it in the couch, and creates a dark fountain. Now, I'm going to get more into that in my next video, but since Chris doesn't have his heart and he makes the fountains, what does that mean for the future of this game, where you know that your vessel created this world, and how that's going to affect what you say to the other characters? Do you want to make yourself look suspicious, or are you just going to go on like it's still you that's playing? Because even though your choices don't matter, you can at least try to decide what Chris says, as long as you're in his body. Which is why I believe that there's going to be a point in a future chapter that Chris goes on his own, and you're just left as your heart. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but that would be really interesting to see. And so this is kind of what I think makes Deltarune much more interesting than Undertale. It's because Undertale had this simple mechanic of just sparing and killing monsters, which was revolutionary for its time. But if Toby Fox did that again, it wouldn't get people's interests again. Now, of course, Undertale is a story from beginning to end. It's its own thing. It's perfect, doesn't need to be touched. But Deltarune, I think, is growing into something much bigger. And that's why I'm really excited to see these future chapters. And so, I don't care how long it takes, I just hope I'm still alive, which I'm pretty sure I will be, since Toby Fox would probably be dead before me. So, even if I'm 40 years old, I'll still be looking, still be waiting for those games to come out. And I heard that chapters 3 through 5 are going to release at one time, and I'm hoping that comes in at least the next 3 years. But right now, I've got a tremendous amount of hope for Deltarune. Thank you.